Hey, I'm Tim. I'm the Maestro.
Hey, I'm Trace, and I am the Moron. Welcome to Maestro and Moron, the show where me, the dumb, I am not an artist. I do not know how to draw. I have a little coffee shop napkin down here, and Tim here is the Maestro, and he's going to teach me a little something about art.
Yeah.
And I could teach you, maybe a little something about life. Let's get these squiggles off the screen, and I have a prompt for you today, Tim. The first word I have for you is Snowglobe plus hammer.
Okay, that sounds like a dangerous combo.
They're two sort of opposites in the sense that a snow globe is very fragile and a hammer is like almost made to destroy a snow globe. So I kind of wanted to see, if they were combined, what would that look like?
So they're living cohesively.
They've made up the great snow globe hammer wars, are behind us, and they've decided to unify and have snow globe hammer babies.
Those trials have passed us now.
Crossing boundaries here at Maestro and Moron. But do you know the tool to use to fix any plot hole?
Hammer.
What?
I couldn't think of an answer.
That's okay. Magic. Magic is the tool, Tim.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You can fix any plot hole with magic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think magic does sound like a better way to go.
So, yeah, this is, what I have for you.
I like it. It's inspirational. What's going on down here? What's this little...
Oh, that's like how snow globes have like a town inside of them,
So there could be a whole, like, I didn't even think about that. There could be a town in there. Oh, we could take it even further. You know me, I always want to put a galaxy inside something.
You gotta put the galaxy. When in doubt, galaxy it out,
Exactly. Okay, let's see. I think let's start sketching some stuff out over here. We'll start with the snow globe. Could think of it being, what if it floats and it's not actually physically connected to the rest? Because I have some concerns about a hammer being attached to a snow globe. But like you said, magic's always the answer. It all starts with a lollipop.
That's a good looking lollipop. I'm not gonna lie. I would eat that.
In the future, they'll have floating lollipops so that the have that terrible introduction of the lollipop and the candy and the stick, and then it gets that little gunkiness. You don't want that.
So you can like it's a 360 lollipop. You can lick every angle of that.
Oh yeah, it could be spinning over here, it could be over here and here.
I like it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think how the hammer part's gonna work. But first, I'm having a little trouble with this perspective, and if you're having issues with perspective and you're trying to draw more complex shapes, the best thing to do is just draw the simplest shapes. And it all starts with a box.
It all starts with a box.
It really does, though.
The question is, how do you go about drawing your box,
Yeah, let me run through a little bit, kind of some of the thoughts I have. So first, I think about what's like the surface area of the box, but like the front side of it. Like if you're looking at it from a 2D plane, almost like a side-scroller video game. Like if you're looking in and you have, here's your box. I think about that.
Okay.
Just like that 2D aspect of it first. I almost kind of imagine like shifting my mind into that world from like a third person perspective. You think about how that other plane on the side's going to look. So you have that front view. And the more you shift into this perspective, the more you'll see this side. And you can just keep doing that until you twist the whole box away, until you decide that maybe this side over here that you're looking at is the side you actually want to see.
So if I wanted to get better at this, I would just draw a ton of boxes at different angles and different sizes.
Yeah, I actually, even now, even though I still draw all the time, I'm always just drawing like a box. My kind of practice to start the day is to draw a box like this and then just start spinning it on the page. I'll flip it. I'll be like, oh, maybe it's falling down this way now. To make it extra challenging, if you can have it actually like sort of look like it's animating and twisting in space, then all you have to do from there is start imagining what's inside that box. A really good part of practicing too is make sure you draw through it so you have that full 3D dimension.
Oh, okay.
So imagine you're drawing a wireframe box. And the more you think about that, the more you'll start thinking about 3D space. And then you can put anything in the box. So you could put a circle in the box. It could be a hat. It could be whatever you want to make.
So as you can see, my little wireframe didn't line up here. So this is what I have done to rectify it. I think this works though, right?
Yeah. So now that I have the box, I want to create these circular shapes in the box. And it's way easier to do that with a box shape. So you can just fill the circle however you want. Now that's a nice rough drawing. I'll just take that, turn it down a little bit. We'll make a new layer.
I do like the idea of like all of the parts are kind of just floating next to each other and they're held together by like the gravity of the galaxy space sort of thing. Where did this galaxy hammer come from? Is it the size of a galaxy, or is it like a galaxy that was shrunk down and put inside of this hammer here?
Ooh, that's a good question. Was it crafted for a purpose?
The obvious choice, or the first choice, is always like some wizard, right? But maybe it wasn't a wizard. Maybe it was
Does the hammer create energy that powers the galaxy?
Maybe some sort of like Thor alternative, universe, where like the gods, put this together to.
It's the hammer. It's the world hammer.
The world hammer. Okay.
Yeah, and if you stop using the hammer, it stops generating power for the sun within the hammer, and then the whole universe inside would die. But
so the movie Crank.
Oh my god.
This is Crank 3, but with a galaxy hammer. I love it.
Hammer crank. It sounded way cooler until you said it's crank. But yeah. It could be that, and then like you could use it to imbue stuff because it has the power of the galaxies.
So I've had this joke for a while I've wanted to make. I want to make Crank 3, except it's not his heart, or his heart is replaced with a fidget spinner. If the fidget spinner stops, then he dies. So can't stop spinning or you die. So fidget spinner, galaxy hammer. It's a good idea. Maybe we leave that one on the table. But
I think that's brilliant.
I do love the concept of this. Maybe it's a god. I feel like this is like bestowed upon a god, and his like curse. He like wished for power, right?
Oh, you wished to rule the world or the galaxy.
Yeah, maybe he wished for like power, and one of the other gods was like, here you go. Here's this galaxy hammer. You have to keep destroying stuff with this hammer. Otherwise, you're going to die.
You must destroy everything to fuel the galaxy to keep yourself alive.
The god of destruction was born, although he really doesn't like, destroying things, but he's left with this curse of having to bat planets around, and then like maybe the planets get like consumed into the snow globe. That's it. He hits it with the hammer, and then it gets sucked into the snow globe.
Anything that's hit goes into the globe.
Yeah. So he's sort of like sucking up planets and galaxies with the hammer.
Sounds like a real jerk.
Well, no, he has to do it to survive. So he is still a jerk that he probably should have just taken one for the team, but the hammer has maybe corrupted him.
So now that we're talking about having like some sort of absorption energy type thing, I almost imagine the hammer has some kind of conduits or something that kind of connect through the center here.
Ooh, yeah.
So when it does hit stuff, it would like interject it or something.
And then you could have like, some energy, like a horizontal energy beam type of light, going through.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
I see you have like sort of a plates thing going on here.
Yeah, because I was thinking like it's more about capturing things is what you were starting to talk about. So I want to kind of shift it up a bit.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
It looks cool.
I wonder if it has like internally here, it could even like look like it dips into something as well. Maybe there's like energy going on in here, something like that.
Yeah, I feel like it has sort of a magnetic kind of vibe here.
Yeah.
I wonder if the people inside are still alive in there.
Are they aware?
Oh, maybe he's not a bad guy after all. Maybe he's just collecting planets and being like, hey, you're safe now inside of my little snow globe.
I'm not horrible. I just captured you and put you inside this snow globe.
And he's like, when he's bored, he just like watches them. Yeah, he's just like the galaxy's biggest voyeur,
Oh my God.
He just wants to watch the world, So
the voyeur warrior on the prowl.
The god of voyeurism, yeah.
The god of war and voyeurs.
Which is kind of like already the base idea for God in general, right? Is like, oh, it's like this big man in the sky that watches everyone. So, it's kind of on brand. So
creepy sky daddy, yeah.
creepy sky daddy. Oh yeah, that's it.
This is creepy sky daddy's hammer. Let's get some color on this. I actually really like this drawing.
Yeah, it's hype. What do we think about colors here?
Well, I've been in kind of a pinks and purples phase for a little while here, and I don't know if I'm ready to leave it.
Let's do it up. Pinks and purples.
I was thinking like nebulous purples and stuff like that. Part of me is tempted to make this circle perfect, but I think I'll just leave it like this to have a little more character. Sometimes leaving things a little more looser can make things work out a bit better.
Happy little mistakes, as Bob Ross would put it.
Exactly. So another thing we're going to do really quick here is going to shift the color of these lines for this main layer here, just to make it a little more conducive to coloring.
Okay.
Since I said I'm going to go with like a purple color, I'm going to use like a blue kind of purple color as my baseline color. It'll be pretty dark, so you probably won't notice too much of a difference. Okay, so now I'm just going to start plopping some colors for my galaxy here.
Okay, yeah.
I'm painting kind of back to front on most of this.
Uh-huh.
So I'm thinking the very, very background colors, like what's that going to look like? Just thinking about maybe some blues. We could throw a few different colors. Maybe we have some of the intensity kind of like shifting up towards the left and the right to kind of indicate there's a power surge between the middle of the two.
Oh, yeah.
And then as we're pulling this in, I'm just going to start throwing in some color variety. So I want to do kind of like a metal on some of this.
How do you do metal?
The way I usually do metals and stuff is I'll use like a big gradient, but a giant soft brush is basically the same thing as big gradient. So what I'm going to do is try getting my base kind of metal color that I want to go with. I'm thinking like a gray, blue.
Okay.
And another thing we have to think about too is the color of the lines on top too. So I'm going to actually shift those a bit too. I'm going to make those even a bit darker. And now I'm filling it in on the tops and bottoms, and I'm thinking about where the light's going to be hitting. Maybe top right a little bit.
Okay.
Now that I have kind of the soft basic colors, I just had to pull in like what color the light might be, like a blue kind of color, and I make the brush a little bit bigger and just start dragging across where I think the light's kind of hitting.
So I'm trying to think of what's a complementary color to blue, pink, and purple.
We can always take a color wheel and take a look.
All right.
So now that we've got the color wheel, we can think about the colors that we're working with right now.
Okay.
So if we want something complementary, that's just going to be straight across there. So we can kind of grab from this kind of realm.
I mean, gold does go well with like, if this was made by the gods, as far as like metal goes.
Oh, that's a great color. Yeah, we could totally go gold.
Okay.
Gold's always a fun one to kind of, a challenging one to work with.
Oh, why is that?
But it's really easy to go too colorful or too saturated, which I usually like mine to be quite saturated gold. It's easy to go overboard with. And we could do a few gold elements that kind of like ring into the center of the hammer and stuff too. And we can just kind of come through here and start adding little details to the hammer's handle. And I'm just going through and adding like little lines to connect some of this trim and such. And then the super easy way to make it look metal, just add a little reflective bloop bloop.
Oh yeah.
And to grab that color, I basically just went brighter and less saturated. It's really bright, and that's my little highlight color.
Instantly it looks like metal.
Yeah, 2 values and it already looks like metal.
Yeah.
A lot of times art's just about like fooling the brain or fooling the eye into thinking it's seeing details and things like that aren't actually there.
So what you're saying is like you are some sort of magician or wizard?
Some type of art wizard.
That's what this show should be called. Art Wizard and Apprentice.
Art wizard.
And
Art
dummy.
Wizard and peasant.
What's a dumb wizard called?
I don't know. That's just a great show right there. Just call it just Dumb Wizard.
Just Dumb Wizard. Yeah, I would watch that show.
Yeah.
Like Harry Potter, but like if he wasn't gifted, he was like he's just really bad at magic.
Oh, Dumb Wizard, you've done so well.
Classic Dumb Wizard. But he still fails upward, which honestly actually is Harry Potter, right? He makes like a tons of mistakes, but he still ends up like, winning all the points for Gryffindor, somehow. So,
Harry Potter.
Maybe Harry Potter is Dumb Wizard.
He is Dumb Wizard. So now I'm starting to add in some like rim lighting and stuff like that to some of the planets down here. Maybe I'll add some water. Yeah, water. That's on planets, right?
I'm thinking we should add some like black in there, like to show that it's like space.
We're going to be adding some contrast in here once we add the glass in, because we're really right now we're painting everything behind it. But I think you're totally right. I'm going to add darkness to it.
Nice.
Hey kids, even a moron can suggest some good ideas once in a while. So
once in a while. Once every 5 years, you might have a good idea. So keep on going, kids.
keep on suggesting those terrible ideas, because one of them might just not be so terrible. So I was thinking about this the other day, and I think I've developed my brain to learn things, and I've focused more on that than actually like learning art.
What do you mean by that?
I think you can focus on learning how to learn.
Learning how to learn. Yeah. Dude, whenever I need to make like a life change, I go the same route, because like I will sort of deconstruct the thing that I need to do and be like, what are the processes I need to accomplish, right, to end up with my end goal? And I'll try to learn the things I need to learn sort of in order, so that once I get to the thing that I finally need to do, then I'm much more comfortable about doing that thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Life advice from a moron. You didn't expect to get it in Maestro and Moron, but here we are, drawing galaxies and...
Hey kids, the moron strikes again with another great bit of advice.
And in the same way, you can really deconstruct this art piece. Let me do that for you. So like the galaxy, it sort of represents like us as like humans, right? And like we're sort of trapped inside of this like bubble, right?
Hey
and then,
kids, sometimes silence says more than anything. So right now I'm just having fun with the colors. You'll notice I'm heading more and more towards complementary colors. So I'm really just shifting and gradienting through. So I'm going from purple to blue to green into yellows, and then I'll be into those gold colors. So really I'm gradiating the colors that we already had and just adding a few more colors in.
Yeah.
So that's how you unify.
It's like a beautiful mess you have here, right? Because it like, in a sense, right? Don't take this wrong way. It does look sort of like random strokes of color, right?
Oh, it does, totally.
But looking at it as a whole, it looks really cool.
It's crazy. It looks like stuff, right?
Yeah, it looks like stuff. It looks like a galaxy with like really cool, intricate like colors, and they're all, doing stuff. And I can see the flow, right, from one end to the other.
It's strange how you can start tricking the eye with these little illusions of blobs and blips of color.
How much of this is you putting random strokes and seeing what works versus being very intentional, right? Because it almost seems like you would need a balance of both.
I do. Most everything has quite a bit of intention behind it.
Okay.
When it comes to like talking and painting, that's why it's so hard, is because everything I'm doing has like so much intent and thought behind it. When I place little dots down, I'm thinking of them compositionally.
Mm-hmm.
Like I do little groupings of small, medium, and large. And I think of one larger blot or star. It's going to have accompanying smaller stars to kind of introduce scale.
So even though you're trying a bunch of different things, each thing that you try, you go in with an intent and purpose with it.
Even though sometimes I will experiment with something, there still will be an intent and purpose behind that experiment. It's usually testing, like, does this work here? It'll be me testing myself or asking myself, oh, let's try it out to see if it works. And then calculating, oh, does it work? Does it work in the greater whole of what I'm trying to achieve?
Gotcha.
Because sometimes you can go on those little quests of trying to decide if something works or not.
Mm-hmm.
And you could be like, yeah, this works. But did you ask if it works to the original intent and goal? Because if you forget that part, you could easily get off track and start saying it works. But really, it's only working for that situation. It's not working for the greater whole.
What do you do when you get stuck in maybe a situation where you don't know what to do? How do you get back on track?
Oh, that's a great question. I often I'll just walk away from what I'm working on and work on something else. Try something that I do know. A lot of times I feel like if I'm stuck, it's often not the problem, but my current state of existence, my mental attitude. So I'll go and maybe build up some confidence in a different area, or try to solve a problem in a different way, or just not think about that problem at hand. Maybe solve something I know I can solve and build up my confidence a bit and come back to that problem.
Even when I'm editing, a lot of times, like if I get stuck on like an edit or like I'm spending too long on like one part, what I'll just do to increase my productivity is I'll just like, I'm not going to do this now. I'm going to do something that is easier. I'm going to do the rest and come back to it later. And usually by the time I come back around to do it again, I can figure it out very quickly. I think that's a good skill to be able to, recognize when you are stuck on something and have the will to walk away and come back to it later.
Yeah, I think it takes a lot to walk away from something, and sometimes that's just what you need to do. Like if you're just slamming your head on something over and over again, that's not necessarily the best way to achieve success, because you're probably just like getting worse and worse results the more frustrated you are.
Dude, more life advice from Maestro and Moron. We're out here giving you, not just art advice, life advice. We got you, all right? You got to like, subscribe, tell your friends.
This is getting pretty close. So the main thing I have to do now, I've avoided it a little bit, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
The glass.
And
that's really the thing that's going to bring this all together, is I haven't rendered any of the glass.
Sure.
But the reason I've waited is because the glass is the last thing that you see. So why would you want to paint that first?
So what you're saying is you got to save the glass for last.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's my grandpappy always said, you got to save the glass for last.
Your grandpappy said that too?
Yeah, it's a common,
Wow.
I guess so, wow.
So right now I'm just kind of thinking about where the shine is coming from. And we talked about our lighting kind of coming from this way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having most of it hit right there. And I'm going to paint in some more of this just to make it look like there's a layer or thickness to it. I'm going to choose that same purple color, but go brighter, a little bit bluer, so it's like being affected by the blue, and then start painting that in like it's another layer here.
Okay. So it's like the sort of distortion, shimmer sort of thing that glass does to things that are behind it.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, like if I could buy this at a gift store, I totally would. Like this little
Galaxy ball hammer bebop thing.
It looks like one of those things that you would get like an Instagram ad for, where it's like, look at this galaxy thing. Turn your room into a galaxy
thing.
You know what I'm talking about? Like the weird lights or like whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Have you always wanted to be captured in a hammer in a galaxy? Well, now's your chance with the galaxy hammer.
Please, someone make this on Etsy and I will buy it, okay?
I guess actually, yeah, some like soft edge stuff would probably be good here too. Like,
oh yeah, look at that.
Starting to look like glass. And then maybe we could put like a really bright shine like right here or something. And then to make it kind of have that sharp feel, probably have like
that like anime eye glimmer.
Exactly.
that little white like sparkles, Yeah.
So let's talk about wearing glasses and having anime reflections.
Okay.
Because we're in the world of digital worlds, and like every time I talk to people, it's always like they can't see my eyes, and it drives me crazy. Which I guess it shouldn't, but I'm like, they can't see my eyes, because every time I'm looking at the screen, I get the anime eye reflection where it's
like the anime villain, where it's like,
yeah, that's what I always look like. I'm the anime villain.
You're always 100%
always
the anime villain.
What do you think? Any thoughts here?
Yeah, I'm just drawing some anime villain here. Oh, dude, I'm just like looking at that globe more, and it looks so cool.
Turned out pretty good.
Are the plates at the end, are they going to be like donuts, right? Are they going to have holes in the middle?
Oh, yeah, I should do like, I was going to add something. I forgot about that.
So that like the energy could get sucked in or whatever, the planets.
Yeah.
They're like halo rings. Well, halo rings are more like thin edges, but
no, these are more like Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, some Dunkin' Donuts. Get me some donuts.
Well, I think now we're done with this. We could do a little more cleanup, but I think the general concept and idea is there.
It's there.
Yeah.
This looks awesome. I love this. I want one or two. Actually, you know what? I'll take two.
You need at least 3 so you can smash 2 of them.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to collect some planets, stare at some people, see what their lives are about, Just be the god of voyeurism. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Like in sorbet.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.